It is official now. U.S. President Donald Trump will be visiting India on the 24th and 25th of February. This will be his first visit to India since he took over the office. On the 16th of January, there were reports, remember, that both sides were working out the dates for that visit, but the impeachment trial was coming in the way. With the Senate now having acquitted the president, the White House has finally made that big announcement. Trump will be visiting India on that two-day tour, and this will, of course, be his first presidential visit to India. Other than New Delhi, the president and the First Lady, Melania Trump, will also visit Ahmedabad. The two leaders spoke to each other over the weekend before the trip was formally announced. At the Howdy Modi event back in September, Prime Minister Modi, remember, had publicly invited Trump to India, and both Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar extended the invitation to Trump once again at the White House after the 2+2 ministerial dialogue. So what exactly is on Trump's agenda, and what is going to be the overall expectation? The trade deal, of course, will be a top priority. Trump once called India the king of tariffs and had removed the special trade status. And since then, the two sides have been negotiating to try and arrive at a new trade deal, possibly a precursor to a free trade agreement. The U.S. Trade Representative had also been expected to meet the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal and finalize the terms of the $10 billion deal. The two leaders will also inaugurate the world's largest cricket stadium in Ahmedabad, named after one of India's tallest leaders, Sardar Patel. We'll have to wait and see if the two can also have that stronger possibility of looking at that stadium as a stronger link between the two sides. Let's get in further details now from our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who's been tracking the very latest. If you were to look at the kind of statements that have been made by the two sides over the last few months, a lot of hints have been given out as far as the trade deal is concerned, Siddhant. What would the two sides be expecting as far as those talks, now that the dates have been confirmed, are concerned?
Well, Molly, a lot of things are expected from this two-day visit of the U.S. President Donald Trump. First, of course, the outcomes, and then, of course, the optics. In terms of outcomes, a trade deal is the biggest thing is now, given that it will be signed. We know that the trade negotiators of both sides have been speaking to each other, talking to each other. In fact, the first round of the talks happened in New York during the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to United States for the Howdy Modi event, and, of course, for the UNGN meeting with the U.S. President Donald Trump in New York. And second, of course, the optics. We know what's going to happen in Gujarat. It will be a grand replication of what happened in Houston. It will be a Howdy Trump event which is going to take place. And, of course, the inauguration of the largest cricket stadium, which will be the key showstopper of the entire two-day visit by the U.S. President. We know that both sides, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the U.S. President Donald Trump, have been speaking to each other. They spoke twice this year, and in both conversations they discussed this important visit of the U.S. President Donald Trump, which is going to happen later this month.
Right, stay with me, Siddhant. The other crucial part of those talks will be the defense ties between the two sides. Now, that relationship received a major boost ahead of Trump's maiden India visit. The State Department has cleared the sale of an integrated air defense system to India. India's wish list at this point includes 5 Sentinel radar systems, 118 AMRAAMS missiles, and 134 Stinger missiles. The entire deal is expected to cost around $1.9 billion. The Trump administration informed the U.S. Congress of that proposed deal, saying that it would not alter the basic military structure of the region. The State Department touted the deal as a way to strengthen the U.S.-India strategic partnership by bolstering the security of a major defensive partner. As a part of the deal, India is also seeking technical support, warranty services, and field office support. Raytheon Corporation and Kongsberg Defense and Aerospace are the major U.S. contractors involved here. A major helicopter deal is also in the offing. India is reportedly going to approve the purchase of 24 Seahawk helicopters from Lockheed Martin in the next 2 weeks. The US Congress has already approved the sale, which is likely to cost around $2.6 billion. The helicopters will be fitted with Hellfire systems, missiles, and meant to track submarines in the Indian Ocean. Many Indian warships currently do not have helicopters, and so the Navy had made the Seahawk acquisition a top priority. Back in 2008, India-US defense dealings were practically nil. 12 years later, the figure stands at $17 billion. And if reports are true, the two sides could sign defense deals worth more than $3 billion when Trump visits India on the 24th of February. What have your sources, Siddhant, been telling you so far on that aspect? And, of course, the Seahawk deal is something that the Indian side has been looking forward to for quite some time.
Well, defense forms a key pillar of this relationship between Washington and New Delhi when it comes to security. We know Washington considers India as a net security provider in the region, and both sides are working on the Indo-Pacific concept, and both have been very vocal about it. When it comes to defense deals, this is something that is given, that is expected to be talked about by both sides. Both sides have number of agreements like COMCASA, LEMOA, and one key focus of these agreements is interoperability, and for that reason India is keen to buy more equipment from the American side, and that of course remains the top focus during the visit of the US President Donald Trump.